What seed do you think the Cavs are going to finish in the East this year, man?
4 to 6 range.
4 to 6, okay.
It kills me that Miami didn't go after Donovan Mitchell. Kills me.
Why I say that?
Because I think Donovan Mitchell could have been the difference of them probably won the championship, really. I like Tyler Hero a lot, but he's no Donovan Mitchell. I feel like they're just missing something in Miami. Crazy, you started off the Cavs, I started talking about Miami. But
Man, it's with a whole different direction.
Yeah, I know. So I'm talking about the Cavs. But yeah, I think the Cavs 4 to 6 seed. 4 to 6 seed. I think they are showing some stuff early on, but who knows? We gotta see how things, pan out. It's still early in the season, but maybe 4 to 6 range. Or maybe a play-in team. The East is stacked. It's a bloodbath.
It is. You know what though? I think the Cavs can finish top 3 in the East.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I like their depth. I like their youth. I know they added some new pieces, but and it's still early, but I even still like the chemistry. And I think they're ready. I think last season was an eye opener for them. But that whole post LeBron era and them trying to recover and all that, I think they're ready. And especially too with this Spider trade, I think that's really going to put them, in some serious conversation. So I got them finishing top 3 in the East.
Yeah, I mean their wings. The situation scares me a little bit because we know in the playoff times, it's some wings that they're gonna have to deal with, and they have no answer for. So that's a situation because if you look for a roster 5, top 6 on their team, they're pretty solid. They could go to an Eastern Conference Finals. They're that good, and maybe possibly even a NBA Finals. So we saw Trae Young go to the Eastern Conference Finals when his second best player was John Collins. So if I'm looking at Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, they have a solid core, and they play defense for us the big man in that back line. So it's just all right, what's up? But the wings, that's what he call. We know in the playoffs it's about wings. If you ain't got no superstar wing player, it's hard to win a championship at this level.
Yeah, and I mean, all right, so I'm thinking who wings-wise they would have to guard. So Jason Tatum and Kevin Durant come to my mind first.
Chris Middleton, Giannis,
yes, okay, yes, let me not say it like that. Yes to Chris Middleton, yes to Giannis, but Giannis I don't consider really a wing.
Okay, that's fine.
To what
he's a hybrid, but yeah.
But I'm saying that I don't think, probably Jared Allen or a big is going to be guarding Giannis. I don't think they're going to.
They're going to try, but yeah.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
A big is going to line up with Giannis. I'm not saying he's going to stop,
all
but
right.
You're not really going to put Evan Mobley on KD for an entire 48-minute ball game. You know what I'm saying? So
Jaylen Brown
as well. You're right.
James Harden. Pascal Siakam, it's
James. All right, James and Pascal. I don't know. James, I would consider a wing. Pascal, to this day, Pascal Siakam and probably Kyle Kuzma are 2 players in the NBA who I have no idea what position they play. They are 4, or they are 3. No, for real, are they
even Giannis?
You really do Giannis, but I mean, it's a little bit more defined. Giannis is a big man, but Pascal, bro, I really don't know, and that's not a bad thing. I just that he really could just do a little bit of where he just hoops. You feel me? We ball. That's so respect to Pascal. But yeah, I'm okay. Well,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're food in that position. That's why they need to probably trade Karis LeVert for somebody.
Okay. The Cavs are.
Yeah, the Cavs. We were talking about the wing position.
I mean, put it like this. Well, so my thing is all 30 teams have a weakness. You feel me? They all do. But to me, it's just a matter of, is that weakness large enough that it can't be hidden? You know what I'm saying? The Hawks, they didn't have a second go-to score at all. It was blatantly obvious.
I don't think that can be hidden. I don't think that can be hidden to come to playoff time, because I just feel like as great as I think Donovan Mitchell can be the best.
DeMar DeRozan, sorry to cut you off, but that's another wing. Go ahead.
DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. Yeah, I think Donovan Mitchell can be the best player on a championship caliber team with the Cavs. But I also feel like they're missing a wing. They're actually missing a Kyle Kuzma, who people should go. It's crazy because I've been talking about Kyle Kuzma a lot. A lot of people should be calling Kyle Kuzma, and I'm talking about I know I've said about Kyle Kuzma having his impact is a little bit more better right now on the Washington Wizards because they're not really like a winning. They're not going to be like a team we think about that's going to compete for a championship or even like a conference finals appearance. But if Kyle Kuzma is your fourth best player and you have like pieces around where he could just go out and defend and you can still where the defense is not game planning for him, that's an advantage for teams. Similar to what we just saw in Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins was like the fourth option during the regular season. And then it's just like he got to the postseason, the playoffs, and then NBA Finals. It's just like, yo, he defending and he's scoring. And it's just like, this is your fourth option doing that. He became their second best player in the NBA Finals. So it's just like, you need a wing that can score and that can defend. And Kyle Kuzma right now, if I'm looking at a player that's probably going to be available because he's due for a salary increase. He's probably going to opt out of his contract next year. So this could be possibly the last year that the Washington Wizards get out of Kyle because they got Rui, they got players they going to like, they got Danny, like they got players that are probably going to like re-up before Kyle Kuzma or want to keep on before Kyle Kuzma because they're younger and they have a little bit probably more higher ceiling. But Kyle Kuzma is available. He will help the Cavaliers a lot.
It's funny. I think I saw you post too that like it's almost like the Lakers and Wizards should reverse the trade.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, hey, Kyle Kuzma's an NBA champion. I mean, he, you know, he in the day he won.
His confidence is also increased as well. So people, like when you go to a new situation and then you get to remind yourself, like, all right, like I was in this role, it was difficult, but like I got to remind myself, like, yo, okay, kind of got to find my game again. Like you go into your next situation knowing that, like, yo, you have more confidence. Like, yo, okay, I know I'm a starter in this league. Like, I know I'm a valuable player in this league. I know that, like, what I do on the basketball court, 6'10", shoot threes, and can defend and grabs rebounding. When we talk about things that win the championships, the three things that everybody talks about is defense, rebounding, and having, you know, people that can hit open shots, 3-point shots. Those are the three things that win a championship. Kyle Kuzma fits all those three things when we talk about a player that can go out and be a fourth option on the championship caliber team and maybe even a third option depending on games that a lot of teams should be calling and saying, yo, we want Kyle Kuzma on our roster because he could be the missing piece or the X factor for these teams to kind of get over the hump.
Yeah, but I mean, it would be interesting to see like what the offer is or what the package is for a Kyle Kuzma trade. You know what I mean? Like
that is interesting.
Obviously, you know, if he could be the missing piece, sounds good. But at the same time, somebody else got to slide. So it just kind of like, well, could him being added to a team definitely improve the roster? Sure. Mm-hmm. But what would be taken away? You know, so, and honestly too, I don't know what the vibe is in DC / what the overall goal is. Because like we always say, are you tanking or are you trying to win for a championship?
Yeah.
But for them, it's like you got it's like they're, again, you know, middle of the pack / like they're too good to tank. But
play-in team, lottery team. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. So what's
those are the worst situations you want to be in the NBA.
Terrible.
Worse, if you're not a top 6 team like lock, and I even know the East is tough, so I understand. But like, if you're not a team where most people on the first top of their mind say, "Are they going to the playoffs?" It's a guarantee. What the hell are you doing? You know, like especially if we're talking about like top 5, really, because you're a top 5 team. You probably think like we can win a championship if things go right, injuries happen. Like we can compete for a championship. If you're a top 5 team,
I would probably raise it up to 10. I think there's probably 10 teams that legitimately, and obviously if you ask, I was talking
about the seeding for like seeding. But yeah, you're right. I agree with this.
I think there's probably 10 teams in the league that could probably say, hell yeah, we can win it. Yeah. Like
5 in East, 5 in the West.
I was gonna say, I want to break it down evenly, but I just think that there's probably 10 teams that legitimately, like this. There's 10 teams that can legitimately feel like they can win a championship, and I would say, you know what, y'all probably right.
No.
And I wouldn't feel like, oh, all right, y'all. It's good to have confidence. No, for real though. Like,
I started looking at it. 10 is maybe a little high.
Think about it though. 5. All right. So you do East. Think about the top 5 teams in the East.
So we got Sixers. They've been off to a slow start. The Sixers, they have the talent on their team to win the championships. I'm gonna include them. The Sixers, the Boston Celtics, the Brooklyn Nets, the Milwaukee Bucks, Those are my 4. And the Miami Heat, 5. You're kind of right. Yeah, 5. That's 5
I would even throw Cleveland in there. If
they improved nothing.
I'm not saying I think they're going to, but if like the sense around that organization, like, yo, we legitimately think we can win a chip this year. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, run. I wouldn't say like, all right, guys, settle down. I wouldn't say that, you know? And on the West, Warriors, obviously, Phoenix. I got us.
2 years in a row being the number 1 seed. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you that, but I give what you're saying.
Denver, Clippers,
Warriors. Yeah.
No, I said Warriors.
Yeah. And you could throw the Mavs in there too, because they went to the Western Conference. Even though I don't feel like, but it's nasty.
I mean, it would really have to be on some all hail Luka kind of shit. But then again, it's been that way now. Yeah,
it's been weird things that happen. We saw all hail LeBron go to the finals. He got swept by the Spurs, but Luka is that guy.
Yeah, but LeBron was. That's such a tough comparison, man. Because
no, I'm not talking about LeBron. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying you're comparing, Luka versus LeBron, but LeBron, I forgot what year it was, but against those Pistons. That one game. I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't need to give out exact details. Y'all know which one. That's not happening again, man.
No, I'm just saying, but it's a chance that like, if seeding is right, put it like this. Luka went out. His first couple years in the NBA was giving the Los Angeles Clippers fits. This was with Paul George and Kawhi. Am I really going to sit here and say like, yo, if he matches up in the first round with the Denver Nuggets, and it's just, if you look at the Rockets, Denver Nuggets, and Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks, am I really going to sit up and be shocked if Luka go to work on them boys after I saw what he almost did to Kawhi and Paul George? Hell no. We saw what he did to Devin Booker and Chris Paul and his sons. Hell no. Ja Morant, if he beat them, hell no. So it's just like, it's two teams, like I look at like, all right, the Warriors, they ain't having that. But other than that, and maybe like the Clippers this year, maybe. But it's just like Luka, that's what I'm saying. Like he's that cold where like he could go on one of those runs and be like, I'm here and I go to the finals. So don't be so shocked. Even if we feel like the Dallas Mavericks as a team ain't like that, Luka's so great that he can go on one of these runs and be like, yo, I may not win it, but I got us there. So that's all I'm saying.
1000% hear you. Very, 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 very random turn of events getting ready to happen. Is John Wall a first ballot Hall of Famer? The answer to that question is yes. You don't think so? No? That's tough. Why not?
No.
Not so quickly.
No. I like John Wall a lot.
No, so quickly. No. That's so tough. Why not? Why no?
No, he's one of the best pure point guards in the league, but he hasn't really accomplished a lot.
Oh yeah, because every player in the league done got 17 rings and 8 All-Star appearances.
But you said first ballot. You didn't say like, will he make it to the Hall of Fame? That's two different questions. You said first ballot. Kyle Lowry's career has been better than John Wall's career so far.
Wow, you think so? That's a heavy question.
That's not, I think if you really look at it, like people are going to look at like the All-Star appearances and stuff like that. And overall, like John Wall being a championship, number one option on a caliber, like great team or whatever. Like he's done that more than Kyle Lowry. But if you're looking at 2-2 right now, who has a better chance of being a first ballot Hall of Famer? I know Kyle Lowry is what he's doing in Miami. It's nothing to write home about right now. But if we base things on like right now, who has a better chance of being a first ballot Hall of Famer, Kyle Lowry or John Wall? I think it's Kyle Lowry. I don't think it's even a question. We're talking about first ballot. Not if they get in, we're talking about first ballot. So yeah, I like John a lot, but not first ballot.
It's funny. Usually I'm the one that is heavy on the ring culture. But in this situation with your explanation, that ring that Kyle Lowry has must hold a massive amount of weight in your belief that he has a higher chance. I mean, and I'm not mad at it. I mean, but that's the only.
But he helped change the tide in Toronto with DeMar DeRozan.
Absolutely.
And a legitimate argument be made that like, yo, they was going up against arguably to the GOAT. If you don't think LeBron's GOAT, top 3 player of all time. And LeBron was whooping everybody's ass. So it's just like they were the number one seed. So it's just like nobody was beating LeBron. Like LeBron was that was peak prime LeBron. So I understand it. So, and then when LeBron loses and then they go out and win a championship, the first year he leaves and goes to the West. He didn't lose, but when he went to go to the West, they won a championship. And Kyle Lowry is a starting point guard, and he's been in the Toronto Raptors for those past 3 years where top seed, just couldn't get over the hump against LeBron. That helps his argument a lot.
Okay. Wow, context is very important. There's a lot of details not being mentioned in that little story of yours just now. Just to be very clear. That sounds good. That sounds amazing. But let's, the minute LeBron left and went to the West Coast, first of all, LeBron had to deal with an injury-riddled Laker team. That's one. Also,
true.
The Raptors added Kawhi Leonard.
That's
also,
true. Definitely.
The team that they ended up facing in the finals was injured. So there's a lot of everything you said is right.
We're not gonna do that. No, we're not gonna do that.
I never said you were wrong. I never said you were wrong. I just said add the details.
One of the greatest scapegoats is like when we talk about people and that's why I was so annoyed with Warriors fans because once they won a championship last year, they were quick to talk about like Kevin Durant, how do you feel? Kevin Durant is sick. He wanted to trade because of the Golden State Warriors won a championship. I was so annoyed with that shit because like that shit was 3 years later. Don't sit up and talk about like the first year Kevin Durant left, y'all won a championship. That shit, that's not how it works. You don't get to go out and be like, after 3 years later, Kevin Durant is feeling like his ego is bruised. We did it without Kevin Durant. The time to prove they didn't need Kevin Durant was in 2009 when all that situation was going on when Draymond and Kevin Durant, and everybody knows what happened with that. That was the time. And let me tell you something. I know Klay Thompson got hurt. I don't want to hear Kevin Durant didn't play because Kevin Durant was out way before then. And I really don't want to hear the Klay Thompson injury excuse either because they were down already in the series. It wasn't like they was up. They were down already in the series. And I'm not really a math guy, but the odds were always in the Toronto Raptors' favor to win the championship based on them being down. Because last time I checked, only one team in history has came back for a 3-1 deficit, and that was 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers will arguably the greatest basketball player of all time. So the odds wasn't in their favor to really do that. So I hear you, but let's pump the brakes. And Kyle Lowry showed up, especially in Game 6, showed up and closed out. Like he got the party started. So,
okay, like I said, nothing that you said was wrong. I just wanted to be very clear and that there were some details that needed to be mentioned.
I'm just saying you making it seem like Kyle Lowry. You talk about John. What I like John Wall.
Yeah, I'm gonna say back to John Wall.
But what is John Wall? What am I missing something?
That's tough.
No, for real. That's tough. Am I missing something?
Has John Wall been on a USA team before?
That's tough. I don't. Maybe not.
Think about that. That's kind of. I don't know why. I mean, I know you only get like 12 players, but I don't know. Maybe the timing of it has been a little wacky for his career. But either way. So, is John Wall a first ballot Hall of Famer? In my opinion, the answer is yes.
Yeah, I know there's going
to be a lot of disagreements. I understand that, but trust me, there have been a lot of other players that have been inducted on the first ballot that damn sure ain't deserve it. Yes, the answer is yes. John Wall first ballot.
No, because you can't leave that open.
There's been what you mean?
No. You can't leave that open and say that. Like,
so if I get a list of every first ballot Hall of Famer, I guarantee you there will be at least one player on there that has not had a better career than John Wall.
In a modern game,
I assure you. In general.
What I mean, are you talking about historic? Because if you talk about his basketball,
when we talk about Hall of Fame, and you mentioned Tony Kukoc, he didn't play 5 years ago.
He was
so it's the same thing. No, I'm saying in general, when you got flies on your screen or something.
Something's like on my screen. I'm like trying to get it off. Like, what the hell going on? Shit, they try to stop this bullshit that you're speaking on. Because John Wall, like, what first ballot Hall of Famer? I can't think of like. It's hard. If we really looked it up, I don't know because Chris Bosh is not even a first ballot Hall of Famer. He would have been, but we know what happened with that situation, Kobe. But first ballot Hall of Famers is
let him get a ring and it's over. Let him get a ring and it's over.
No, I don't work that way.
Let him get a ring. It's over. We just said the same thing about Kyle Lowry. How if he gets another ring to his resume, he'll be.
No, it's another question because we talking about Kyle Lowry. Here's another.
John Wall is special, bro.
Let me tell you something. I don't even know if this player is a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I'll tell you he may be, but I don't know. And I can tell you that he has a better chance of being a first ballot Hall of Famer than John Wall. Rajon Rondo.
Wow.
Is Rajon Rondo a first ballot Hall of Famer?
No.
But John Wall is.
Yes.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Because we seen Rajon Rondo on like really great teams. And also we seen Rajon Rondo be the star once those guys left with the Boston Celtics. And I don't see it. Nah. It's
all right. So do you think Rajon Rondo is a future Hall of Famer?
Yeah, he probably get in. Just like John Wall gonna get in. Because everybody get in the Basketball Hall of Fame. But first ballot is when I had to put my foot.
But you think Rondo is a future Hall of Famer?
Yeah, he probably get in. I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
Yeah, John Wall's probably a future Hall of Famer. But then again, instead of saying probably, but just getting to say he's a first ballot, I don't even know, is Blake Griffin a Hall of Famer?
We can just have a whole.
We're just doing it right now. That's because you making it seem like John Wall is such a lock for first ballot is crazy to me. Because I think if we look at like, what's the difference between Blake Griffin and John Wall? They went to playoffs.
I didn't answer your question yet, but so is Blake Griffin a first ballot Hall of Famer? The answer is yes again. I think Blake Griffin is first ballot, bro. I really, really do. All jokes aside. And if he ends up winning a ring again this year, I know it's a little bit later in his career, but I still would say first ballot. Sorry, bro. Sorry.
I don't know, man. Man, it's damn near
peak
out the
Blake
league almost. So.
Peak Blake. Well, again,
peak Blake. Yes, I agree, but it's just like we talking about like first ballot, first time on the menu. Are you getting into the hall?
Yes.
It's a lot of it, and it also depends on like who they're up against as well. Because not everybody. It's tough. I don't know, man. I like Blake. It's DeMar DeRozan, a first ballot Hall of Famer.
It's getting nasty because now you can't just toss everybody in the Hall of Fame. You're right. Good question.
I'm gonna wait till you answer.
I'm sorry. Are you asking if he's a Hall of Famer or a first ballot?
First ballot, because you talking about first ballot.
Yeah, I would say so.
DeMar DeRozan, first ballot Hall of Famer.
These guys just got to win though. That's the only thing. John Wall, DeMar, and Blake.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's the difference between winning a championship, riding a wave. And having an impact.
I know what you mean. The little Jason Kidd kind of championship, the Gary Payton kind of thing. Yeah, I get
it. Riding a wave and having an impact. That's what I'm saying.
But to me, though, I think it's like that championship and those type of championships, in a way, make up for the years of your prime, if that makes sense. So it's like if you done gave 12 solid years of great basketball, I think if you get, a championship when you're 37, 38 years old or something, like, all right, well, that's just the basketball god saying thank you. That's just the basketball god saying, you know what? You might not have got one when you're the number one option or even the number two option, but you can still say that you're an NBA. Perfect example, Dwight Howard. Perfect example.
No, he's not the perfect example because Dwight is like so much better than all those guys that we mentioned. It's not even a thing. Dwight that's a lock. Then we talk about lock. That's a lock. Even without the championship with the Los Angeles, he was so much better than all of Blake Griffin, John Wall, Kyle Lowry, Rajon Rondo. He was so much better than all those guys that we mentioned, and he was a top 5 player that went to a finals as a number 1 option. It's levels. So no, it's not. It's a difference.
I mean, not in terms of getting to the Hall of Fame. I mean, just in general, having that on your resume,
last ring,
right? Exactly. Being able to say, okay. Because again, like years from now, no one's gonna think like, "Well, Dwight didn't win a ring when he wasn't in his prime." People are gonna say he's an NBA champion. Very simple. Like that's just how it goes. Same thing with Melo. If Melo, room for Melo. If he went out and won a championship in the next 2 years or whatever, people would say years from now, "My boy Melo got a ring." It's not gonna be like, "Oh, he ain't get it with the Denver or he ain't get it with the Knicks." He's a champion. So I think the stage at which you get your ring, it can play some importance. Don't get me wrong, but that jewelry kind of heals all. You know what I'm saying? I think that kind of washes away that whole theory of, all right, this brother ain't never get a single ring, or make the finals for crying out loud. But, I think that kind of takes care of itself. But, It's tough.
Paul George, first ballot.
Yeah.
He's more so than any of those other guys you mentioned.
Yeah.
And John Wall. I like John. I seem like I'm telling. I like John Wall a lot.
No, it's look. But this is a heavy conversation. I say it's a heavy conversation. Not saying it's John Wall, a talented basketball player. It's first ballot. Can't say yes or no lightly.
Like Paul's Olympic gold medal, Carmelo Anthony, what he did with the Olympics team, stuff like that. I'm looking at John Wall's resume. It's like it's tough. It's not giving what it's supposed to give. He's not a top 75 player of all time. It's just like we got guys that's like
that dumbass list. I'm not even gonna pay attention to that.
Okay, that's true because Dwight Howard's not even on there. Yeah, I'm saying Dwight Howard's not even on there.
Was T-Mac on there?
No, T-Mac wasn't on there.
So what are we doing here?
No, I'm just saying, but it's just like what are we when we start looking at things? When we talk about first ballot, that's what I'm saying. First ballot means first time your name's on the list. It's a lot of guys that we think that are really great right now that are probably Hall of Famers. And if they get a ring, yes, it's going to elevate them definitely and maybe have them a better chance. But even with a ring for John Wall, I don't think it elevates him to a first ballot status. Even if a ring automatically, even if a ring with Blake Griffin, I don't think it's going to elevate him to first time status. I think Paul George, I think it's a lock. I'm not a lock, but I think it's closer to like him being a first ballot Hall of Fame without a ring. But if he gets a ring, it's a guarantee lock. Just like for Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony, I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, even though he doesn't have a ring. But if he gets a ring, it's a guarantee lock. But John Wall, Ray John Rondo, DeMar DeRozan, Blake Griffin, first ballot Hall of Fame lock is very. We're doing a lot of reaching there. Leave it at that.
Nasty work, yeah. All right. Well, hopefully no one here is a Kentucky fan with the amount of.
You know me. I'm
discussion towards
UNC and Kentucky, my favorite two teams. I love the guards.
What the hell? Both?
Yeah, because I love the guards. I love Calipari as a head coach. But I always
say I like UNC and Kentucky. What in the hell is going on?
I grew up a UNC fan, but like, it's it's serious. Kentucky,
I'm not mad at it.
Kentucky guards are serious. Like everybody, if you want to go to the NBA, you're a shooting guard, go to Kentucky. If you're a guard, go to Kentucky.
Run with that agenda, my good sir. Run with that agenda.
You're going to the NBA.
Run with that agenda. But all right, y'all. Y'all know what it is. No pump fakes. We gone. Peace.